Representative Nornes, thank you for coming in today and talking to us.
Glad to be here.
What do you do for a professional career, and can you share a little bit about your life outside the Capitol?
Well, I'm retired from my career prior to the legislature. And what I did during those years, in the early 60s, I attended Brown Institute down on Lake Street and got into the broadcast field. So I became I guess you'd call it a DJ, a program director, TV weatherman, the farm reporter during the noon report. I did a lot of variety of things and eventually got to be a station owner. And that was my goal, I guess, to be my own boss. So I had that dream come true. And so I was in the radio business from about 1962 until 1997. That's the same year that I came to St. Paul. So sometimes life kind of works out that way.
Can you describe the district you represent and tell us what your constituents care about?
Well, I live in west central Minnesota, Otter Tail County specifically. I didn't pick that location to live in. I came there because I had a job. Didn't realize what really was there until I got there. And then I find out that it's got everything. You know, it's got 1,000 lakes, believe it or not, in one county. 10% of Minnesota lakes are in my county, and most people don't know that. It has still has some, you know, dairy is a big deal. Farming, it's got a variety of farmlands, from rolling hills to the real fertile plains down in the valley. So it's agriculture, it's recreation, tourism, industrial, healthcare. We basically have it all, and so people are concerned about all of those things when it comes to the government and laws and regulations. I can't pick any one thing, I guess, so we have education too that I didn't mention. We got a community college, and so education is a big part of it. So it's a variety, and it's an interesting place to represent because of that. And our economy is so diverse that when one thing is up, something else might be down. So it evens out. We also have an ethanol plant located there, and so that's a big part of our agriculture. So I consider myself one of the luckiest representatives to have just such a neat area.
What legislation have you worked on in the past that you are most proud of?
Education has always been on my agenda, whether it's early childhood. I served on that committee many years, K-12. I've chaired the Higher Education Committee twice and still serve there as the lead Republican. So, you know, I think probably some of the bonding projects would be things that I can point to that are kind of long-lasting. We've got a conference center. We've added on to the Prairie Wetlands Learning Center. We have a Central Lakes Trail that runs from Fergus Falls almost all the way to St. Cloud. It's actually part of the Lake Wobegon Trail. And that was something that we got the final part of that done through legislation. I worked on behalf of the city this past year because we have a large state hospital that's they're trying to redevelop. And we had some language that we were able to pass last year that gave it another 2 years, a reprieve before the wrecking ball comes in. And that's, for a lot of people in the community, that was a major thing.
Why did you initially decide to run for office as a representative?
I've been asked that a few times, and I was quite a bit younger when I think back to those days. I had served 12 years on the school board. I had worked hard in the profession I was in, still was. In fact, that's about the time I got into real heavy ownership with my own corporation, and I really had enough to do. But I had kind of an interest in, since I was on the school board, an interest in being on the other side of the educational equation, because we were responding to what the state was telling us we had to do. And I thought, this is frustrating. So if there's a chance, I'd like to be on the other side where I can represent the school board and other members who feel like I do. So that was kind of the basic reason for it. Then there was an opportunity in 1992. We just went through the precinct caucuses in Minnesota, and there was some, I guess, there was some unrest. People weren't happy with the current representative, and so I was kind of recruited to challenge him. So I did that in 92, and I had to do it again in 94, and finally I won in 96. So I had to run 3 times to get my certificate.
What are your hidden talents or hobbies?
Well, I'm not good at most things, but I used to play the trombone. In fact, I was a card-carrying member of the union at one point. I really wasn't that good, and I guess you didn't have to take a test to get the card, but I was playing in a band, a city band, and we all had to be union members. So that's past. I don't do that anymore. But I play the piano, and I've got 3 pianos in my house, from a baby grand to an electronic piano to a spinet piano. Most people are content with 1, so I got 3. I can only play 1 at a time. And I also collect guitars. And the other thing that my wife and I both do together, we enjoy camping. So we're campers. And we do that in a motorhome, so we're not roughing it much, but it's still camping. So I have a variety of things that I do outside of the state legislature.